Thanks to those joining me live and to those that'll be joining me on archive. D-Style here. All right, and I'm ready to go at it with G-Funk right now. You don't want none of this. Okay, right now, let's but there we go. He went to the body when I turned around. He hit me while I was looking away. Right?
Hey, I was throwing a jab at that like. See it?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right. Make sure you guys throw it. Got it right there. Okay, and just in case you can't see it, just in case, right? Just in case, throw a jab at that like button. All right, there you go. We can always zoom in. You see that? All right. But anyway, man, make sure you subscribe if you like the content. And G-Funk, tell everybody really quick where they could find you.
G-Funky 84 Boxing right here on YouTube. Come subscribe to the channel, man.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys make sure you subscribe to the channel. As G-Funk said, man, this is going to be a hell of a show, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. You see the title. We'll get to what the title's about in a little bit, man. But, man, we got a lot to talk about, bro.
It's going to be a good one, man. It's gonna
Absolutely.
Be a good show.
Make sure you throw a jab. Throw a jab at that like button, all right? Or you could throw a left hook at it. You can, whatever you want to do. You could just throw that jab, get down the pipe, and make it count, okay? By the way, first thing we're going to talk about, G-Funk, right out of the gate, okay? Let me get access to this really quick. Hold on. All right. You guys see the polling right there, right? Right now, Evander Holyfield has a lead. Is one of those votes your vote?
Evander Holyfield? You know it is, man. I voted right away for the real deal. I'm ready for that appreciation week.
Explain to people why you voted for the real deal on his first week. Yeah, we had Bernard Hopkins and Cotto with just a couple weeks ago where they're gone for life, right? Why is he worth it in the first go-round, first ballot?
Personally, for me, because out of all the 4 fighters that are there, I mean, I liked all those guys. They were all good fighters, but Holyfield was my personal favorite heavyweight growing up in the 90s. So I had to give him the vote, man.
You had to. Like,
I had to.
All right, absolutely. Those are the 4 guys. We got Bernard Hopkins on his 5th week. Like he's not going to advance this time, looking at the voting, but he's going to have one more shot at it, and then he's gone. Okay, Miguel Cotto is flirting with that right now. Okay, he's on his 4th week. And week, you're right. I mean, he'll be ending up on his 3rd week. So we will see how it goes, man. How do you get there? The link's right there, by the way. But you can always go to community right there on my channel. Click on the community button, all right, and go vote on the polls. Vote on the polls, all right?
Get to voting.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, make sure you guys do that, okay? And that's that. All right. With that said, make sure you throw a jab at that button. Like I said, we're going to start this right out of the gate, bro. Okay. There was a big debut. I remember I mentioned them last week. I said, hey, Robeisy Ramirez is going to fight, right? And I said, I haven't really seen him fight professionally yet. I know he had those World Series of Boxing, whatever fights, but it was his pro debut. And I said, we'll talk about him next week, right? And I'm thinking we're going to analyze how good he looked because he's a Cuban, amateur. He's a gold medalist, right? What happened, G-Funk? He got knocked down in the first round. It was a close, tight fight to me. You could argue it either way, but why was he in the fight of his life against this dude?
Yeah, to me, it looked like the guy, I think his name was Gonzalez. Can't remember his first name, but he came out, man, and he just said, hey, I got nothing to lose here. Guy's got a lot of hype, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. So the guy just let his hands go, man. And to his credit, he caught Ramirez very, very early in the fight, put him down. Didn't look hurt to me, but, it's a knockdown and it counts. So he was behind right away. And, I mean, to me, I felt like the rest of the round, was kind of even.
Okay.
But going on to the next 3 rounds, I mean, a couple of those rounds were close, but I actually felt like Ramirez should have deserved the win. But, he comes up short in his first professional fight. Not the end of the world, but it's not really what you would expect out of a 2-time Olympic gold medalist either,
Yeah, he's 0 and won. Like I said, it's not the end of the world. He wouldn't be the first boxer in history that ended up being a great boxer, right? That ended up doing very good for himself, right? So I get that completely. But you still, to me, this is a, you know, like you can repair the vehicle, but it's in the shop right now. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Like it's not like there's no it's not a vehicle that has no history of damage. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it'll still work and all that, but is it going to work the way um it's supposed to? That's like in the vehicle example. But Robeisy Ramirez, where does he go from here? If you're top rank, you already set him up with someone you thought he would look good against in his debut fight. Do you put him in there with the same guy? Does he have to avenge this? I would. I'll put him right in there with the same guy.
Yeah, I think you have to, because I honestly believe that he controlled the rest of that fight after that knockdown, and he did look pretty good. He was in there slipping, moving, and ducking, and bobbing and weaving, but um, I would have liked to see him let his hands go a little more because when he was throwing his hands, he was catching them pretty clean, but uh, he just kind of stood there with with his hands straight up, and he just kind of let the fight slip away.
Yeah, I see some Ace Giants beef going on over here in the chat.
Oh yeah, well
All
the
right.
A's and Giants are playing right now in the series, so that's
Okay.
what we got going on.
Gotcha. Shout out to Clifton Bronson. Shout out to Joe Lopez 40 ounce. Shout out to DJ Mexicano de Tejas. DJ D. David Garcia says, don't forget about the don't sign of Billy Joe Saunders. I'll probably talk about that later in the week, but we already got a lot of stuff. We don't forget things in this show. We already got the show lined up. But
Right.
do you have any quick thoughts on that?
On the Billy Joe thing,
Sure.
um, I think it's a good move. Is he still at middleweight or did he move up,
I
Billy
believe it's
Joe?
168, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, I don't know, man. I think so Matchroom signed him. I guess we'll be seeing him on the zone, and we'll
Yeah.
see where it goes from there. Maybe they'll do a Canelo fight. We're gonna get to Canelo in a little bit. I know that name was gonna come up anyway.
Right.
But we'll get there. All
I
right.
would love to see Canelo and Billy Joe. I think that would be a good fight.
Yeah. Chargers 913 says amateur champions aren't guaranteed to be professional boxing champions. Two different worlds. And
Absolutely, I agree, man. Because the Cuban guys are so used to fighting that amateur style where they just, they land and they try to just land clean and try to get the decision, and it's hard for them to get out of that mindset right away, like the amateurs and professional, two totally different worlds, man.
Well, here's my thing. Like they're two different worlds, but it's not like football and basketball are different worlds. Like you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of similarities. Both they're still wearing gloves, they're still hitting each other. But I will say that compared to pro boxing, amateur boxing is basically fencing with gloves. Okay, not for and again, I'm saying compared to for a reason. All right. So before somebody comes out, how can you say that? Like I'm just saying, compared to pro boxing, it's fencing with gloves pretty much. Okay. So and here's my thing, and this the next thing I was going to go to. What does this do for the perception of amateur boxing in your view, G Funk?
That's a good question, man. I mean, I just think that, from my experience being around guys who fought amateur and then fought professional,
Yep.
from what they've told me, they don't like fighting in the amateurs. They just don't.
Right.
They think that the headgear restricts them. They think that they can't be who they really are in the amateurs. This is just things that I've heard because I've never fought in the amateurs, but
Right.
I have trained and sparred with guys that were both amateur and professional. And that's the one thing that I've always heard from most guys is that they just don't like fighting in the amateurs. But it's something that I think most guys should do because you can learn a lot, you can see a lot of different styles, and then you get enough fights under your belt, you can move right into the professionals pretty smoothly. But I think that this kind of loss can do damage to the amateur program. I mean, you see a guy who's as decorated as Ramirez, and he goes down in his first fight. It's like, man,
Right.
it does do a little bit of damage, but I think he'll bounce back. And like you said, I think they should put him back in there with Gonzalez right away.
Yeah, I think he needs to rep gold medalist and get that win, okay? Because shout out to Cali Enigma Sports and Entertainment. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe.
Subscribe to that brother.
But here's my thing, okay? I get completely what people are saying, okay? I get it. The amateurs are not the same as the pros. We all know that, okay? All right, but guys, he didn't lose to like a top contender here. Okay, he didn't lose to like this good pro. Like and I don't want to be demeaning to his opponent. Okay, but this is a catastrophic loss. Is it not, G-Funk?
It's big for sure, man. It's big.
Like this is a catastrophic gold medalist. I don't care if the gold medalist, his style isn't made for the pros. Okay. He should be able to beat a guy at this level. All right.
Exactly.
He should be able to wash this guy. This is not supposed to be competitive. He's supposed to wash him. Like that. That's the thing. What's going on, Brian David? We just got started, bro. Not to worry. We just like that. That's catastrophic. I'm using that word for a reason. It's not just bad. It's not just a setback. It's a catastrophic loss, bro. Like I'm questioning if the vehicle, back to the analogy, is totaled. Okay, is the vehicle? It's in the shop. Is it totaled or not?
It's pretty close, man. In my opinion, yeah. But I think he can bounce back, man. I think he can. From what I've seen, I think he can definitely bounce back. But yeah, man, he should have. I mean, the guy. What was his record? Like 2-4 or something like that.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
batting 500, bro.
Yeah, that's a guy he should get out of there for sure.
Like you should win that fight. He shouldn't knock you down. All right, like and now and it was competitive. Like, who did you score that fight for? I know you already told me, but go ahead and tell the audience who you scored it for.
I actually had Ramirez winning it, but judges didn't see it that way. So, he comes up with the L in his first debut, man. But yeah, he's got to get in there and right that wrong for sure, man. And I think he can do it in impressive fashion if he gets that opportunity.
I mean, let's go down the list, bro, of gold medalists that, even if you argue, while they weren't as good as a pro than they were an amateur, right? They still did very good for themselves. Reagan Dow, okay? I'm just sticking to Cuban boxers, okay? Reagan Dow, I believe Lara won a gold medal, right?
Oh, I don't know if he did or he did.
Can I get a fact check on that? So I'm pretty sure he did, but just because I'm using his name, all right? Gamboa's
a gold medalist for sure, yeah.
Did Casamayor win a gold medal? I think he did.
I know he was in the Olympics. I don't know if he medaled or not. If he did, I don't know if it was gold. Yeah.
Dude, we don't gotta go gold medalist. We can just say Olympians from Cuba. All right?
Right.
I mean, I'm just saying that this is catastrophic. So I honestly don't like to do this, but I'm marking this as a fluke. Like I am. I have to.
Mm-hmm.
I have to mark this as a fluke victory. A fluke knockdown that everything just didn't go his way. And they got to put him back in the ring with this guy. He's got to wash this guy and remind people, I'm the gold medalist. He's just a dude. He's just a journeyman fighter. Okay.
Yeah, he had a good day,
Shout out to Cali Enigma. He has press credentials to Navarrete in the Vaca fight. That's great.
That's good stuff. Good stuff, bro.
Look forward to some stuff. So make sure you guys subscribe to Cali Enigma. Let's see what he gets out of that.
And that's going to be a good fight, man. Make sure you guys watch that one.
And now I do want to say, and I go back to this, right? A lot of them now win a gold medal, fine. But that's fine. All right. But he was an Olympian, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Okay, but here's my thing. We need to understand the following. All right. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, "Oh, see, it doesn't matter." Like, look, this one loss does not, mean that we should never pay attention to gold medalists ever again, right? Because look, they have a pretty good history, gold medalists, all right, of reaching the top echelon of boxing. You know what I mean? Like there's a track record of gold medalists that have reached the upper echelon. You know, it's just that we're putting a lot of focus in this. So I still think, you know, people need to still pay attention to gold medalists when they win, when they're coming over to the pros. And hopefully this doesn't just turn into some, I see, it doesn't matter, they just forget about it type of thing. All right, but you have any final thoughts on this before we move on?
No, I think we covered it pretty well, but he's got to get back in there and get that W, man. He just has to.
No. That's an understatement. Speaking of the fight at hand, man, the fight happening this weekend, I believe it's on ESPN Plus. All right, and that is Emmanuel Navarrete versus Francisco de Vaca. Okay, Emmanuel Navarrete is el vaquero, and Francisco de Vaca is Panchito de Centenario. All right, that's a long ass nickname. This Centenario.
I know.
Okay. Ironically, Navarrete is ranked number 1 in the world. This dude, according to BoxRec, is ranked 144th in the world. This opponent. All right. Although he is undefeated, he's 20-0 with only 6 knockouts, only has a 30% KO ratio. Okay. He's from Michoacan de Ocampo, Mexico, and he is trained by he has been training with Manny Robles. Important to keep that in mind. Emmanuel Navarrete, 27-1 with 0 draws. He's 23. He has 23 knockouts. That's an 82% knockout ratio. That is insane for that weight class. Okay. He's pretty big for that weight class too. 72-inch reach to De Vaca, 65.5-inch reach. That is a crazy reach for that right there. Emmanuel Navarrete is 5'7", I believe. Francisco De Vaca is as well. And look, Navarrete is coming off that big win over Dape, okay? But I do want to say I saw an interview. It's an interview in Spanish. The interview, the YouTube channel is, man, what the hell? Boxeo de Knockout Informa. That's the name of the YouTube channel, okay? They interviewed Navarrete. He was basically calling out Daniel Roman. He did not call out Ray Vargas, which was interesting, okay? And he said that if he can't get a unification fight, that he wants to move up, okay? We got names if he moves up, okay? You know, so he has opponents he can face if he moves up. But before we even get to any of that, how do you see this fight, G-Funk? Navarrete, De Vaca, both orthodox, both from Mexico. How do you see it?
Wow. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one, man.
I think I mentioned it, both 24 years old. So
yeah. Yeah, to me, it's a true 50-50 fight, man, when I look at both guys. You know, Navarrete, his win against 2 wins actually against Isaac Dogbe. Those were 2 very good fights, very close fights. But man, he brutalized Dogbe in that second fight, man. That was he put some hands on him in that fight. But you know, I like the way that he throws his hooks to the body, man. He throws real good, nice body. And you know, he does throw a lot of shots too. He's a volume puncher, a little bit of a volume puncher to me from what I've seen. And De Vaca, he's got some good speed, and he likes to throw, you know, those real fast combos. But to me, this, you know, his defense is better, a little bit better to me than Navarrete. But I think this is a pretty big step up for him from the guys that I've seen on his resume. I mean, he's got some guys he's fought that had like 25 losses or something like that, I think. Right. So I mean, this is you know, a big step up for him. Not that he can't win, you know, but I'm gonna favor Navarrete here. I just don't know if he can make up for that lack of power, you know, because that's really what separates the 2 fighters to me, is that, you know, Navarrete, like you said, he's got a high knockout ratio. Vaca, you know, he's only got 6 KOs in 20 fights. So it's not really a big puncher, man. So I don't know if he's going to be able to keep him off him or be able to, you know, hit him with something to get his respect. So that's what I see, man. I'm going to take Navarrete, probably by a decision, I'm going to say. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple knockdowns maybe, but that's who I'm rolling with, man. I think it's going to be a very good fight.
I will say this is a big step up for Francisco de Vaca, man. Big
Mm-hmm.
step up. He's pretty. I saw some interviews of his. He's pretty confident here, but I am looking at. It doesn't mean everything, but I'm looking at. He's only got 6 knockouts out of 20 fights, and
Yeah.
his level of opposition isn't that good.
No.
So that tells me a lot, man. And I think he's getting knocked out, dude. Like I see this fight going 7 rounds at the most. I think Navarrete is going to stop him. All right. All Navarrete has to do, okay, is get him in an exchange, and I do believe he's going to put enough pressure on De Vaca, get him against the ropes, and I think he's going to make him exchange. I think De Vaca will have some success early, man, but I think the pressure is going to be a little too much. Navarrete also has a pretty good reach advantage on the guy, so he could do very well with him on distance. I got Navarrete winning this fight by 7th round stoppage. I think he stops him.
It's very possible, man, that he could knock him out. And he is. I forgot to mention that he has got those long, wiry arms, man. Something about those dudes with those long, skinny arms, man. They could pack a punch, man. So, yeah, I think that if there's some exchanges that happen, he's definitely going to get the better of it, and that's Navarrete I'm talking about. I think he's definitely going to get the better of it. But yeah, I think I seen a footage where I think Robert Alcazar was training him at one point, De Vaca, but I don't
Okay.
know if he's training him anymore. But
Good
shout
trainer.
out to him, man. I used to train De La Hoya one day. But yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight. Can't wait to see it, man. But it is a big step up for De Vaca for sure, man.
I do agree that De Vaca has really good combinations, but I just think that's where he's going to get caught. I think he's going to get caught in those exchanges. Um, Navarrete se va a fajar. Like he's going to brawl a little bit with this guy because I think he wants to exchange with him. And if you look at the difference in power, not only, I mean, it'll be one thing if Francisco de Vaca was the one with a better opposition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we look at the knockout ratio, we're like, well, who has the other guy fought? But when you look at not only has Navarrete fought better opposition, okay, but he has a much, it's like different worlds apart in knockout ratio. That's very important to me. And it's going to be a fun fight. I think Francisco de Vaca wins a couple rounds in there, but I'm rolling with Navarrete. And if Navarrete, I mean, I don't know if he'll get the Daniel Roman fight. I don't know if how long he could make this weight anyway. That is something I guess I got to keep in mind is weight. But Leo Santa Cruz against Navarrete is like a dream fight, bro.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
If he moves up, man, they got to do that Leo Santa Cruz fight. Like that's a dream fight. Like that is a fight of the year candidate.
That's one of them ones where you have to invite the homies over, throw some meat on the grill, have some beer, and just enjoy that one, man. That will be a great fight to watch.
And I think Navarrete washes Josh Warrington from the UK.
Yeah.
Sorry to UK dudes, but I think he washes them. Like I'm sorry. Right. Kid Gallahan, I think, puts up a much better fight. That's a little closer a fight to me because of his movement. But those are the guys I'm looking at. But that Leo Santa Cruz fight, if he moves up, bro, that's the fight to make.
Absolutely.
In my opinion. Right. Shout out to Scrapbook Boxing. If you're not subscribed to Scrapbook Boxing, I don't know what to tell you guys. Okay. Go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing. Amazing history. Great knowledge. You'll learn a lot about boxing. Subscribe. And he says, good evening to the chat. Chargers 913, that's it. You were so right, Chief Funky. Right. And AJ 10 says, what's good, everybody? Calling him a rumor is Tank versus Leo next on Showtime pay-per-view. Let's do it.
Wow. Yeah.
All right.
Let's get that one on.
That.
Yeah.
Right, hell yeah. By the way, how do you think Navarrete would do against like those 3 guys I mentioned? Leo Santa Cruz. I mean, if he fights Tank, that's great. But let's say he were to fight Navarrete, how do you see that fight?
That's one I'd have to think about a little bit more, but I like it, man. I really, really like it. I think that would be, if I could quote Jim Ross from WWE or WWF, whatever era, that would be yes, a barn burner, man. That would be a good one, and I would love to see it. And let's get that one signed, man. Or a Tank. Even the Tank fight would be a good fight, also.
So according to the banners, I mean, it's like you guys see. I mean, it looks like the fight's going to be um in ESPN according to that banner. Right, so you don't necessarily have to go to ESPN Plus. According to what we're seeing right there, looks like the fight's going to be on ESPN. For what it's
That's
worth,
good. Yeah, because I know a lot of people have trouble with that ESPN app.
that's an interesting banner, man. It's making Navarrete look like a giant. Look at that, right? But I believe, from what I've seen, Francisco de Vaca is a pretty tall guy too for that division. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be interesting, man. Let's see how Navarrete fights with somebody around the same height, and it's gonna be something to look out for, man. By the way, I got Tank in that fight with Leo Santa Cruz, bro.
Definitely taking Gervonta
Yeah.
Tank Davis for sure, man.
Yeah, I don't know if he could take that punch, man. Okay, I just don't know. Like that, I think that's a little too much for him, but we will see. I mean, you can't count out Leo Santa Cruz, but I would favor Tank in that fight. Um,
Well, I mean, if Santa Cruz can take his best shots, might be able to get him out of there late because we know Santa Cruz, he can fight hard for 12 rounds, man, and he throws a lot
true.
of shots.
Yeah, he
But
could maybe win with activity and stuff for sure.
mhm.
Definitely. You have any final thoughts on this fight?
No, I'm rolling with Navarrete, and make sure you guys watch that fight, man. It's going to be a good one, I think, for however long it lasts.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. Next thing, Brandon Figueroa, 19-0, 14 knockouts. He's 5'9", 72-inch reach. And he's a bantamweight. Speaking of super bantamweights, by the way, at 122 pounds, man. He's an interim WBA champion. You know, he's going to be fighting next week against Javier Nicolas Chacon. We'll do a breakdown on that fight specifically next week. But what are your thoughts on Brandon Figueroa, man? You think he's going to be better than his brother?
You know, I have to say, I think he can be better than Omar for sure. To me, he just looks a little bit faster. I think he also looks a little more athletic to me than Omar is. Omar is just kind of too slow when he's plodding forward sometimes. I see a lot more bounce in Brandon's step. He's able to get in and out a lot faster. Some things that I noticed that I really don't like is number one, his defense, man. He gets hit an awful lot. I seen in his last fight, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was getting hit with several clean lead right hands. I mean, straight to the face. And that's something that should not be happening, man. Like, you should be getting hit with any kind of lead rights like that. He is a volume puncher, just like his brother. He likes to switch stances sometimes, which can be a good thing and a bad thing, in my opinion. I think the way that he does it, to me, is kind of, I don't really like the way that he switches from southpaw to orthodox, but I think he does got a good chance to be a pretty good fighter, man. If they could just get him to move his head a little bit more and keep his hands up better. Yeah, his style is really good for those lower weight classes, man. He throws a ton of punches, and he comes to fight every time I see him in there, man.
So shout out to Bam Bam Tweed in the chat. Figueroa's take too many punches. Those fighters don't last too long. Says Chargers 913. I don't think he should. Says AJ 10. I'm not exactly 100% sure who he's referring to. Switch stances unless you master one of them first. Oh, I got you. Okay. So he finished the sentence. Okay. Right. And no pause says, what's up to D-Style and chat? Okay. Is Jaime Munguia trained by Erik Morales now? I don't have any confirmation on that, but if AJ10 wants to fact check, he can fact check. All right. Look, man, I like his left hook, dude. His left hook is
pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good left hook. And Callie just said in the chat there, I mean, Omar doesn't live that fighter's lifestyle. His brother, I mean, I don't know. It could be the weight class he's in. It could be, but even when Omar was a lightweight, like, his brother just looks more defined, bro. Like, Omar's always looked like a skinny fat kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's always looked soft, and that doesn't always mean everything. But these guys, obviously, they're brothers. They got the same genetics, dude. Okay, yeah. And one looks more fit than the other guy. One puts a little more thump in his punches, and I see Brandon put more thump in his shots. He sits on his punches more than his brother does. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
like if anything, and yes, Cali just say that Eddie Morales is training Jaime Munguia. He said yes, yes he is.
Wow.
Okay, and it says fax to Chargers 913. What we're saying fax to
Oh, when he was talking about
Tank.
the Figueroas take too many punches.
Oh, I gotcha. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's it, man. Brandon has a lot of potential, bro. But and even though I think it's better, he's gonna end up just like his brother. All right, if he keeps fighting this way. All right.
I agree. Yeah.
So I don't know who's training him. Is his sister training him too?
The last I heard with Brandon, she was just the strength and conditioning coach. But
okay, gotcha. Okay, fair enough.
You never know, man. I mean, yeah, somebody's got to get in there and teach these guys to have some head movement, maybe some side to side. Because he gets much for me, man. I mean, it's a good style for exciting fights and things like that. But
I think it's good to have that style because it's gonna work with a lot of fighters. Okay, a lot of fighters don't know how to handle that. But what are you going to do when they can handle it? Like, you got to have something else,
Exactly.
Especially with that left hook he's got, man. If he could separate himself a little more, man, that left hook. But Brandon's got a left hook, bro. And I would like to see him use it more, honestly. Okay? And AJ 10, look at that. Fact check. All right? Look at that. Fact check. I just like using that. But, man, I got to do a fact check for Cali, too. Because he does a lot of fact checking as well. So I got to do one for Kelly. Rockin' Sock'em is bored, not excited, says man in water. Look, well, I mean, I don't know about that.
I wouldn't say it's boring.
Maybe you don't, you don't respect it as much as skilled fighting, you can say, you know what I mean? But it's fun. Shit. I'll watch two guys just
I like it. It's cool, man. It makes for good entertaining fights, man.
I'm not saying I would recommend it to fighters, but if you want to go out there and just trade, hey, I'll watch it.
Oh right?
Yeah. But I'm not even gonna lie. I know a lot of people would lie about that. No, I don't want to see that. Like, yeah, you do. Right.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I prefer watching skill. I prefer watching game plans. I prefer that's what I prefer in boxing. But I'll watch two guys slug it out any day. Right.
And just because you like to get in there and get on the inside, that doesn't mean that you're not skilled. It takes skill. Yeah. A truly great fighter with that style will have a skill on how to get on the inside of guys who don't want to fight that way.
Well, I just feel like, I mean, Figueroas are skilled. I mean, you don't box at this level if you're not skilled. The problem is that for this level, they get hit too much.
Yes.
And it's fine when, look, the one thing Brandon has, bro, is that the higher the weight class, power is more important. Okay. Like they hit harder. And then the lower the weight class, okay, the more activity there is. All right. And when you get to weights like welterweight, it's kind of like this. You know what I mean? And then when you start, you know what I mean? That's just the way it goes. Like, this is heavyweight. This is power, speed, right? For the most part, you got guys that are faster than other heavyweights, but for the most part. And then, you kind of go this way. We're at middleweight, we're at welterweight, we're at lightweight, we're at featherweight, we're at bantamweight, we're at featherweight. You get my point, right? But so the one thing he's got is that guys are not hitting as hard in those weight classes, okay? So the boxing gods will forgive him a little more for getting hit as much. All right. Se pueden fajar más. You can brawl a little more in those weight classes. Okay. You can catch guys in exchanges, take a little more risk when it comes to that for the most part. Right. There's some guys like Navarrete, for example. You don't want to be doing that. Okay.
No.
But Inui, you don't want to just go in there and just trade with Inui or freaking, or Neri, right?
Yeah.
But that's the one thing he's got. He can probably last longer than his brother. But here's the flip side. Okay, the flip side of this. All right, I think I started like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but the flip side of this is that at heavyweight, fights and faster, so you don't take as much brain damage, right? So Brandon, over the course, if he has a longer career than his brother, he can come out with more sustained damage to the brain and stuff like that if he continues this, bro. And I think he could be a better fighter. he could be just as exciting, right? If he approaches more of a boxer puncher style, right, with occasional brawling if you want to, with occasional, pressuring fighters and getting exchanges, but you dictate when you exchange and not exchange. I would like to see him do more of that approach. But man, what I want to see him, improve that defense some more. It's going to make him a better fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and a more dangerous fighter too, man. If he could avoid more shots and land those volume of punches that he does, man, yeah, he's got some serious potential, man. But that defense is the one thing that stuck out to me, man. Watching him fight was like, man, he gets hit, and again, to get hit with lead rights like that should not be happening at this level, man. You cannot be getting hit with lead rights. I mean, over and over again. That's crazy, crazy. If I could quote you, that's insane.
Oh, could you imagine like Munguia comes out next week, bro? Like he's fighting like Morales. He's like in counters, like bah, like what the hell?
That'd be beautiful.
Like Apollo did it for Rocky, bro. Like Rocky in one training camp started boxing like Apollo Creed, bro.
Yeah. He turned into Muhammad Ali in one training camp.
Absolutely. I will say, in fairness to Man and Waters, that I mean I prefer skill as well. Like, you know what I mean? Like so I'm just gonna throw that out there, but I don't mind watching a car crash, bro. That's me. You know what I mean?
Hey, we all enjoyed the Gotti and Ward and the
Gotti Ward, bro. I watched that shit.
Yeah, Corrales Castillo. We all enjoyed those fights, man. You know.
Right, some of our greatest fighters are inside fighters. Yeah, man, a lot of great inside fighters out there, for sure, in the history of boxing. No doubt about that. Yep. I mean, me personally, I like mid-range fighters. I mean, that's me. Okay, guys that can fight on the outside and then get mid-range. But man, I definitely do appreciate guys that get on the inside, land body shots, things like that. Although I don't think that's what Man and Water meant. Like, I don't think he was talking anything about inside fighting. Okay, don't confuse inside fighting. Durant, Tony, he already spoke. There you go.
There it is.
Absolutely. Durant, great fighter. Absolutely.
Great.
Right. With that said, do you have any final words on Brandon Figueroa or anything like that?
Just maybe if he can get away from whoever's training him now and get someone to teach him some defense and some head movement.
Right.
I see some very good potential, man. He could be a pretty dangerous fighter, man, as his career goes on and on, man. But that's got to improve right away, man, right off the gate. And especially when you see the guys that are getting injured and some guys are dying, you don't want guys to take unnecessary shots, man. And but he's still young and they got time to fix it, but they got to get on it right away, man.
Yeah, man. I want to see him fight more mid-range, and that hook of his is like he's got a gift there, man, and he needs to utilize it more.
Got a nice one, yeah.
That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? You mentioned them earlier. I think Alcazar could do good with him, but I like to see him with Robert. I want to see the Figueroa brothers, both of them with Robert Garcia. Right? That's what I would like to see. But hey, that's me. Moving on. Moving on. Look at these three guys. Look at these guys. Okay. Look at these guys. Is there anyone in the sport arguing about more money than these three guys right now?
Nope.
Right. All right. Look, man, I have a question for you, bro. It is Latino Tuesday. Okay, so we're talking, but Joshua's there, but Josue. We'll call him Josue today.
Josue, yeah. Good one.
Anthony Josue. All right. But anyway, who do you think who do you think is gonna announce that they've signed first to fight? Because Ruiz hasn't announced yet, neither has Canelo. Who are gonna what's G-Funk's prediction? Who's gonna announce first that they sign a fight?
Well, based on the fighterless press conference that we had with Eddie Hearn,
right.
I'm putting my money that fight probably gets done before a Canelo fight gets done with whoever he's going to fight. I don't know. I mean, looks like he's still trying to get that Kovalev fight. I mean, who knows, man? But I think that the heavyweight fight gets signed first before Canelo fights anybody this year.
Oh, wow. So you think there's a possibility Canelo might not even fight this year?
Yeah, I think so, man. I really do. The way is it really going to be Kovalev? I mean, Is he gonna? You think he's really gonna move up to light heavyweight? That's probably gonna be like at a 170.
Bro, it's gonna
Who
be
knows?
everyone knows it's gonna be a cat.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
everybody knows that. Like the only ones that don't know that are like the delusional Canelo fans.
exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
like the ones that swear up and down they're all for Mexican fighters, but like all they do is talk about Canelo. Right?
Yeah, that's it.
But like man, like, come on, dude. If it wasn't a catchweight, guys, like Kovalev would have signed, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I can weigh whatever's the weight I want. Okay,
And
done.
it's not like he really needs that. I mean, the guy comes in, Canelo sometimes 180, guys say, so it's like,
Right.
does he really need the catch weight? No, but we know he's gonna do some weird, strange weight limit for the fight. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I think he should just try to stick to 160. I don't think he should even try to fight a champion at this point. Fight somebody maybe in the top 10, and then next year you could fight, somebody, a top contender maybe, but I don't think they're gonna go that route, man.
First, I think I started something with this whole Shui thing. But anyway, hey, Ho Sway, but anyway, that's another story, man. Clifton Bronson, you started something, bro. Okay, but with that said, man, I lost my train of thought with that, bro. Sorry, but look at this. AJ 10 says Canelo weight. He's gonna fight him at Canelo weight, 169 pounds or some shit. That's the weight class he fights at, bro. Canelo weight, right?
Mm-hmm. Franchise champion, bro. I mean, I guess he can fight wherever he wants now, any weight,
Look at this. Canelo asked Kovalev to fight at 172 pounds with a 6-pound rehydration clause.
Jeez.
Look at this. 155 light Canelo weight, 164.5 is super Canelo weight. Well said.
Yeah.
Right? So he wants to fight him at light heavyweight Canelo weight. Right? All right. That's the next thing, dude. He's going to come out. He's going to challenge freaking Joshua. Right? Don't fight. I'm the biggest Mexican name. Yo soy el hombre grande de México. Pelea conmigo. I'm the big Mexican name. Fight with me. Okay? Fight with me at a catch weight. Deontay Wilder. No, not well. He wouldn't even call Wilder, but Joshua, fight me at a catch weight of 190 pounds. Joshua,
there you go.
Joshua, 190-pound catch weight, maybe 189.5 or something like that. Okay. I'm telling you, bro, something happened with this, bro. Look at this. Look at this comment. Look at this. I can't even say because YouTube's gonna get mad at me. YouTube has like
maybe spell the name correctly. The whole sway in there.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Canelo Diva weight says 40 ounce. I love me some Saul Canelo Alvarez says 92 AKU.
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with that.
Kathy Diva said no catch weight, and that's why the fight's not signed.
Right.
That was why Kovalev chose to fight Yarde instead. Absolutely. What's up to Boxing Conversation? Reggie Owens. I'll be live with him on Thursday, by the way. All right.
What's up, Reggie?
Bro, like what fight's gonna happen first, bro? Like you're saying like the first one is signed, it's gonna be Andy Ruiz?
I think so, man. I really do.
Yeah.
Golden Boy is all messed up right now, man. I don't see them getting anything done in the near future, man. I think that there's some groundwork possibly with Joshua and Ruiz, but there you go. Josue, there it is.
Hey, I'm just saying the name Josue. Okay, that's all I'm doing. For those that came in late, Josue is Spanish for Joshua. Okay,
there you go.
Okay, so what's if Josue right is Joshua? What's Josh? Okay. Canelo's not fighting this year. Look at this. Anna Ruiz was just live on Instagram and said something about the fight being in America. What? I gotta look this up.
Yeah. Breaking news, Reggie. Let us share the link, bro.
I got Instagram shit. Well, what's his Instagram handle? So somebody post Instagram handle.
Yeah, I'm not on Instagram, man. So you got me.
I don't know, like what. It's just people are gonna be like, look what DStyle looking at on Instagram, okay? But anyway, hold on. Andy Ruiz, I guess. Andy Destroyer. Are you sure he was live? I don't see anything. I don't see a post, bro. I don't see it. Maybe it's uploading or something. Keep an eye on that guy. Oscar has a lingerie party for dudes. AJ is going. It's gone now. Damn. Maybe it's uploading videos sometimes, like the upload.
Yeah.
So guys, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. Like, feel free to interrupt the show and just tell me it's up, right? So that's what I'm talking about, Andy. Keep up the fight in the West. Oh man.
Hey, bring it here, man. This is where it belongs, man. Not in Saudi Arabia, man. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yep, doesn't make sense.
Yeah, why I didn't make a video on it, man, because I didn't want to have a knee-jerk reaction to that announcement.
Bro,
that
I can't get over like Jaime Munguia right now is like with Erik Morales, bro. When he's teaching him everything, he's teaching him his style, bro. All right,
gonna have that laser right hand like Morales, man.
El ojo del tigre. Okay,
the eye of the tiger.
El ojo del tigre, Jaime. All right. And then Jaime Munguia has like this fat like brother-in-law that keeps saying you can't teach him how to do that, and like like Paulie. Not about like he's not a what was he saying about Rocky?
He's got heavy feet. You can't teach him to dance like a colored fighter.
There you go. Like, no tiene pies. No puede pelear como lo de Tijuana. Okay, he can't fight like the dudes from Tijuana. What are you doing? It's gonna come out like. Anyway. All right. And it said he's moving his whole camp to the high altitudes of Mexico, bro. That's what's up. Right?
Yeah.
For those that don't know, man, the Mexican national team in soccer, bro, has like maybe 1 or 2 losses, or it's like in the single digits in the history of soccer. Right? At least in recent history, I should rephrase that. It's hard to beat them there, and a lot of it is because of the elevation. All right.
Right.
So Joshua's smart not to fight him in Azteca, but that's another story. Plus, who wants to fight in that heat in Saudi Arabia, bro?
Exactly. From what I'm hearing, they don't even have a stadium there for them to fight. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me, man.
No, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I agree. All right.
I'm not saying nothing on that comment.
I want to respect the Figueroa brothers, so I'll just let it be. But absolutely, she is. And then he said, dance with who brought him. Andy needs to dance with who brought him. Well, can you clarify on that? Or am I missing some? Recent history, Mexico is not as good at home. Well, that's recent history, but we will see. Most of the players play in Europe. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. With that said, man, have I told you how much of a terrible week this has been, bro?
Oh, man. It's been a terrible week.
It's been a terrible week. Terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Absolutely. Let me tell you guys something, man. All right. Do you guys know? I'm telling you guys. Do you know who is my favorite fighter of all time? My favorite. I grew up watching him. I was a fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. I was a fanboy of Erik Morales. Okay. And maybe I still am. All right. But my favorite fighter of all time. Like, he's the guy I grew up watching. All right. And so I love this week, man. Erik El Terrible Morales, man. Went back, and I've seen his fights many times, but watching him again, man, this is a terrible week. This is Erik Morales Appreciation Week. You guys voted him in last week, so thank you for that.
I voted for him.
Voted from. I know Cali voted from. A couple people voted from. Okay. And check this out, man. The first Barrera fight. We're going to start with that.
Yes.
Chief Funk, what do you remember? Actually, before we get there, right? Yesterday with Ashy, make sure you guys check that out. By the way, okay, we talked about Erik Morales as well. You know, his early journey when he first became champion, beating Zaragoza, beating Junior Jones. I need to share this with people just to show you the significance of the Junior Jones fight. Okay, like I need people to really understand, right? So let me bring this up. Hold on. Come on, DStyle, get your shit together. There we go. Right. Let's Erik Morales, but check this out, guys. Like all bullshit aside, okay? Like we're gonna refresh this page because I really want you guys to see something. All right. I really want you to see Junior Jones's record. All right. And this is no bullshit. Okay. People say Manny Pacquiao was an executioner, and we had a dude earlier. He's always talking about how Manny Pacquiao's the GOAT and all this other shit, right? Like he beat 24 Mexicans. Okay.
Yeah.
Junior Jones, bro, was 34-0 with Mexican fighters. 34-0, and one of those fighters twice was Marco Antonio Barrera, dude. All right.
You had to throw that one in there, huh?
Yeah, I even. Well, yeah. I mean, it's what happened. You know, are we about facts on this show? Right. By the way, thanks to everybody that voted. I know there was like the easiest poll of all time, but I don't know who voted no right there. It was probably some Barrera fan or some shit like that. But
it wasn't me.
Okay, look at this. Okay, he's not a top 10 Mexican of all time. Okay. Sure. Here are the votes, by the way. Go vote on this poll, man. Holyfield has the lead. But, go ahead and check that out, man. But, yeah, man, look at this guy, man. El Terrible Morales, bro. I want to talk about the lead up to the fight. It's one thing to talk about the fight, but the lead up to the fight. A lot of people don't understand the lead up to this fight, bro. With Barrera and Morales. People don't understand it, bro. Okay? I like that. Look at that. He redeemed himself, right? But look, man. Me personally, and I know people are like, oh, you just don't like Barrera. Let me explain to you why I don't like Barrera. Okay, all right. And it was not just this; it's other stuff. The way he acted after the McKinney fight and stuff like that, right? But here in this case, all right. Marco Antonio Barrera was saying a lot of disrespectful things. Okay, it's one thing to say, "Hey, it's fair game, right? If I get in the ring, I'll beat him," and this, that, and the third. Okay. The worst thing Morales said was, "He's not at my level." That's the worst thing he said. Right? He said the guy's not even at my level. Right? Barrera to the Mexican press, bro, was saying that Morales is a stupid Indian. Okay. Okay, he was saying it was he referred to him as a pendejo every chance he got, right? He acted all snot-nosed, thought he was better than Morales because he was from Mexico City and Morales was from Tijuana, because apparently you're better than him because you're from Mexico City, all right?
I remember that talk too, man. I do.
Yeah. He sucker punched him at a press conference.
Yeah, he sure did. Yeah.
When he was looking away, sucker punched him.
Give him a little tap on the jaw.
No, he gave him a good punch. It was a good punch. And then they started going at it.
I remember Morales came. He threw a two-piece right away. Yeah.
Dudes had suits on, bro. Fisticuff.
Yeah.
Right, but sucker punched him. I mean, just talking all greasy about the guy. Okay? And Barrera was obviously jealous of him, bro. Right? He was jealous because, look, Morales was the one that defeated Junior Jones, not him. He lost to Jones twice. He had two shots. You had 2 shots to do it.
Got stopped the first time too, right? Or
he got stopped. He got stopped, and they called it a DQ. They robbed Junior Jones out of that KO. All right? He stopped Barrera. And Barrera wanted to quit, and he was done with boxing. He got all depressed because he lost the fight. Poor Barrera.
I think he was
Okay.
off for like 10 months or something, and then he finally came back to fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
poor, he lost the fight. Oh, and this motivated him. Morales brought, he put a fire under his ass. I think he saw, well, now that he beat Gina Jones, I could just fight him, right? They give him another opportunity. So that was the lead up to the first fight, right? And there's a lot of tribalness in there, and that could explain the rivalry here. But this was mostly, it was personal. These guys did not like each other, okay? These guys, all right, didn't go to the ring and said, I want to give the fans a great fight, man. Like, hey, that's straight. No. These guys hated each other, right? Morales went to that fight. He went to that fight with his pride on his shield, okay, up behind on his back, on his shoulder. Okay, he felt this heavy weight coming into this fight to represent Tijuana, Mexico, against, Mr. X over here. All right, Mr. Barrera. Okay, so he went into that fight with a lot of animosity. And whenever you hear Barrera talk about those days, he talks about, he blames the press, right? Oh, the press did all that. And I would tell people I feel that could be Barrera, and they were right, something more extreme or something like that. And maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know, right? But what I do know is that Morales went into this fight with a lot of anger, right? With a lot of probably more pressure than he ever felt in any other fight. And he went into this fight like just feeling like he needs to win this fight. He brought his heart. He brought his balls. He forgot this. He forgot his brain, right? He fought a stupid fight. He did, right?
Yeah, he didn't fight a typical Morales fight. That's for sure, man.
With that said, G-Funk, what do you remember about the fight?
Just kind of like what you said, man. I think that obviously there were some, head games being played there by Barrera in the lead up to the fight. Was there some, bitterness, I guess? I think absolutely that, he beat Junior Jones, and he was the first big, champion to come from Tijuana, And I think that was another thing that Barrera had said also, that, well, no champions come from Tijuana, like something like that, But yeah, I definitely remember Morales. He did fight more angry that night, for sure. And I think that kind of played into the hands of Barrera. I think that's what Barrera wanted that night, And because I think, honestly, I really think that Morales could have just stuck to the jab and outboxed the guy all night long. But he decided to go in there and mix it up with this guy, man. And it became a classic, man. The first fight, to me, was the best, as far as entertainment goes, to me. The next two were more tactical, a little more, like George Foreman said, the first time they fought, what do you say? Something about, they weren't millionaires. Now they're millionaires and they're fighting like it, or something like that,
No, let me say it. Well, it's not as good as the first fight, right, George? So yeah, now they're millionaires. That's when they were fools, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
but that's when they were fools. Now they're millionaires. There we go.
Mm-hmm. But there was still bad blood there, though, man. Don't get it twisted, man.
Let me tell you what I don't like. All right. Yes, Morales didn't fight his typical tactical fight. All right. I get that. And because it was a war, there's this like perception, like people just say, I think a lot of people have just said this and just roll with it. This is my opinion. Oh, well, he fought Barrera's fight, so Barrera won. No. All right. Honest to God, I think that fight could have gone either way. Right?
Very close fight, yeah.
I think dude, can you guys really sit down, like honestly, like round by round, like score that fight and be like, oh yeah, Barrera definitely won that round. Have you guys not seen that fight? Have you seen how many exchanges they had throughout that fight?
I think the
right?
earlier rounds to me were a little more clear as to who won them. But as that leather started flying, it was those rounds were just so close, man. So close. And for anybody to say that one guy for sure definitely won, crazy, man.
That fight could have gone to either guy. Okay. I am sick and tired of the Barrera was robbed bullshit. Okay. Nobody was robbed in that fight. All right. Just because Morales fought Barrera's fight doesn't mean he lost. Okay. It means he fought Barrera's fight and arguably beat him, is what it means. All right. That's what that means. Like, he's like, I'm going to fight your fight and beat you at your own game. Now, you could say that that was dangerous. He shouldn't have done that. I agree 100%. Right? But that's what he did. And just to write it off as, I've seen that fight, dude, like a million times probably. Right? There's no way you could score for one guy decisively. Like, it's not that, like, it's a difficult fight to score. There's rounds you can literally just flip a coin. Right?
Yeah.
They're that close. That's my opinion. All right? That's my opinion. That's what I think.
I agree, man. This is such a close fight, man.
Who did G-Funk score that fight for? Like, who do you think won that fight?
I actually thought Barrera deserved to get the W that night. I think that his body work, man, really won the fight for me, and I think that that's something that a lot of people don't pay attention to too often is when a guy goes to the body very well. I thought he did a very good job of going to Morales' body that night. But like you said, man, there were so many close rounds that you could give to one guy and give to another guy. But as far as the trilogy goes, man, one of the best we'll ever see. I had Barrera winning the first one. I had Morales winning the second, and then I had Barrera winning the third. But it didn't go that way. It went Morales, Barrera, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I had it Barrera, Morales, Barrera. And I've talked to several people about those trilogies, and they'll have it in another order, you know?
So, look, this separates both guys, in my opinion, okay, as men. All right? Look, after that first fight, right, Morales goes, after the fight, off the record, okay, he goes to the dressing room of Barrera, okay? And you know how they had given him some medals or whatever, right? I don't know if it was a WBC or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he gave his to Barrera, right? And he told them, according to Barrera, he said, you deserve to win, right? Doesn't mean he felt he won. He said that, you could have won. Like, it's not out of the question. That's what that means, right? So now that's supposed to be a private moment between two fighters, right? He's giving him props for the fight he gave him, right? Second fight rolls around, right? Who did you have winning against G-Funk?
The second fight, I had Morales winning.
Look, that's the most decisive of all the three fights. That's the most clear of all the three fights. Like, if there's one fight where, like, yeah, that guy definitely won, it's the second fight. Morales won that fight. And I never hear the Barrera fans talk about how that was a robbery. I never hear it.
Right.
They
And
talk about the first fight.
I was a Barrera fan, bro. And I scored the fight for Morales, man. I thought he won it. But, went the other way. We see it all the time in boxing, but I thought he won.
He got thumbed in the eye. And then, oh, look at all the damage. Dude, he thumbed him in the eye. Okay, because he was a dirty fighter, bro. Okay? All right, that's number one. But here's the thing. He outboxed him in that fight.
Yeah.
He still brawled with him because that was, it's, you can't avoid exchanging with Barrera. Okay? But he beat him in that fight.
Yeah, and that's why they call him the Telibre, man, because you hit him, he's going to try to hit you back, man. That's just his nature, He could outbox you, but you want to get tough, you can get tough too, man. And that's what made him a special fighter,
Now, granted, I like that quote they did think. That's true. You deserve to win the contest means no one deserves to lose the fight. But my thing, okay, right? My thing is, it's important to note, right, that Barrera, first of all, should never have gone public with this because this was between two fighters, okay? So he was giving him his props, And then
Mhm.
and we don't know. According to Barrera, he said that he took it as Morales admitted that I beat him. Okay, that's how he took it. Now we don't really know that. Okay, well, we don't know that for sure. But here's what happened. All right, second fight rolls around. Barrera clearly loses that fucking fight. Okay, and he goes around telling everybody, "Well, he told me I won the first fight. I won this fight, so I'm 2-0 against him." Right? He went around saying that shit.
Man,
It's
that's
insane.
crazy.
He didn't want to face Morales again. The only reason he faced Morales again because Pacquiao beat his ass. Okay, and that's the only reason that third fight happened. Right. So the third fight rolls around. I know you said you have it for Barrera. I disagree. I scored that fight for Morales. Right. Now I will say you can score that third fight is close. Right. You could give that fight to Barrera if you want to, or if you feel that way, that's fine. All right. I don't want to hear anybody tell me they thought Barrera won the second fight, but the third fight you could argue for him. That's fair, right? To me, you know, I'm gonna debate Calix tomorrow about these fights, but okay, listen to me, okay? Barrera does this like a little child, okay? When they announce the winners, okay, he goes like this. Okay, looking at his trainer saying dos, like okay. Okay, the first fight could have gone either way. I don't care what anybody says. Okay, that was a violent affair. The second fight was close. Okay, or not close. I'm sorry. The third fight was close. All right, and you clearly lost. Okay, like give me a break. All right, and then he still says in an interview a little later that technically he won all three fights. He said. Well, I mean, he admitted I beat him in the first fight. I won the second fight and I won the third fight, so I won all three. Okay.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Bro,
Dude, you won one.
you should do a documentary on these fights, man. For real. You got a lot of good inside stuff that I never knew a lot of this stuff happened, man. That's good stuff to know though, man.
Look at my 116, 112. Okay. I had a 116, 112 too. I have a video, by the way. I actually scored the fight. It's on my channel. The second fight. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I thought Morales deserved to get the win that night, man. Even though,
Morales won that fight, bro. Like he won that fight. Okay. And let me bust a myth tonight too. Right? Oh, after the first fight, Barrera went like this and Morales went like this. No. That's not what happened after the first fight. In the first fight, Morales was over here and Barrera was over here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
After that first fight, they were like this. And then Morales went like this, and this fucker went like this. Okay. Because outside of the Naseem Hamed fight and the Rocky Juarez fights, what else did he do? What else did Barrera do? Outside of that,
he beat Kevin Kelly.
I mean, so did Morales, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now, he had a little rebirth after the first Morales fight.
He did, but did he go off? Did he beat Pacquiao?
No,
he didn't beat Pacquiao. And Morales was still getting wins. Morales was still getting W's over here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we look at his resume after the first fight, shit. He beat Paulie Ayala. He beat Eddie Croft. He beat Fernando Velardes. He beat Judy. The Espadas fight was a great win, by the way. He beat Jesus Chavez. I'm just saying, okay? And did I say, I mean, this was technically after the second fight, but he beat, Erik Morales, bro. No, he didn't beat himself. He beat Manny Pacquiao.
And beat him decisively, too.
Yes. Now let's talk about the Paulie Ayala fight before we roll out of here. Okay, but before we do that, did anybody get any word on the Andy Ruiz thing? Anybody?
I haven't seen anything in the chat, but
Anthony Bolton, what's going on, everybody? This is the first live stream, and I like what you guys are talking about. I got Andy Ruiz as the people's champ. Canelo's legendary, but he kind of propped up as well. Salute. Well, that's an understatement. He's propped himself up for sure. Okay.
Oh yeah.
You're right, DStyle, but all that's after the second fight. Fair enough, but people say the reason I'm saying that, Chris, is because people claim that like Morales was damaged good and never the same after that first Barrera fight. That's not true.
Definitely not
I
true.
don't know what people are
Definitely
talking about. And he won the second fight for real. Okay,
not.
like for real. Box conversation, Reggie Owens cleared. Well, it'll probably be all over YouTube tomorrow. That's for sure. All right. Paulo
Yeah.
Ayala, bro, what do you remember about that fight, man? Because that was after that first fight with Barrera.
Oh,
He had moved up to 126 pounds. So Paulo Ayala, Texas stand up. All right.
yeah. The junkyard dog, man. That guy always came to fight.
Yep.
But to me personally, I mean, that was one of the best fights I've seen Morales fight, man. I mean, he put on a boxing clinic that night. The first 5 rounds, just beautiful, man. Beautiful boxing. His defense was on point. He was with his hands down. Those punches he was throwing at Ayala, man, they were just like sharp as tacks, bro. I mean, going right through his guard. And then by the second half of the fight, he knew he was so far ahead. He knew that Ayala couldn't hurt him. He just started to let his hands go even more. Didn't care if he was getting hit. And Ayala did catch him with some big shots. I remember I think it was right around like round 6, 7, or 8. They got into an exchange, and Ayala caught him with a big, big left hook. And Morales did like a like, oh yeah, that hurt, you know. And then he comes right back and lands like a 3-punch combination on him. Like, right. It was a beautiful performance by Morales. I don't know many guys that could have beat him that night. He was really, really sharp and really, really locked in that night, man. Just a beautiful performance that night. I remember yelling at the TV, just saying, you know what, just stop it, man. He's got no chance of winning. His eyes already closed shut by like the 8th round. Just stop the fight, man. Oh, he's got heart, man. Ayala will never quit, but sometimes you got to save a fighter from himself, man. You just have to.
You know, that fight, bro, is if you want to get a showcase, and Ayala was not a dude to do a showcase fight on, by the way, but if you ever wanted a showcase, like if you want to see Morales fight brilliantly on the outside, at mid-range, and on the inside, this is the fight to watch.
That's the one.
Because Paulo Ayala was having a hard time closing distance, a hard time, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you finally get on the inside where you want it to be, man, Morales was beating him at his own game, right? I mean, the inside fighting was some, bro, because the perception was he has long arms, right?
Yeah, so on the inside.
Morales, at a distance, and then he's more like this at mid range, and then on the inside though, even though he had those long arms, one thing Morales did so well was, first of all, he would throw uppercuts to the body, right? He would throw uppercuts to the body. I mean, his hooks were wonderful on the inside. Okay. And he did such a great job just creating enough space when he was on the inside. Paulo Ayala was getting his ass beat in that fight, dude. Okay. And he also found out that when I finally do hit him, this motherfucker's got a chin and he's got really good punch resistance. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that's what you notice. And props, Ayala came out and admitted, man, that this dude was a hell of a fighter. I want to address something Chris Hellem said. Okay. This fight was out. Look, man. Okay. All right. Look, bro, you say that he went on a downhill after the first Barrera fight and then he skyrocketed after the rematch. He didn't lose after that, bro. My boy, but look, he beat Barrera. All right. It's a win. It was a close. However you want to argue it, I think it could have gone either way. Right? He got a win against Mike Juarez, Kevin Kelly, Ronnie Jones, Judy Espada, In Jin Chi. To this day, I cannot pronounce that. Okay. And then he fought Barrera. I think he was winning. Now, what I'll admit this 100%. Okay. He was struggling more than usual. He was struggling more than usual, but he was still like clearly winning these fights, though. He was still clearly winning these fights, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Barrera beat Ayala. Yeah, I think he stopped him actually.
Yeah.
But hasn't Morales' best work always been on the inside, turning his opponents and landing from all angles? Absolutely. Really good at turning his opponents. Like Ashley said yesterday, is his jab. When he had guys in the corner, he would feint the jab and then come with the right hand. Bam! Okay, he would overhand it at times. He would throw it straight at times. I mean, the guy came with it at different angles, man.
He had a
Great
brilliant
guy.
right hand. Brilliant right hand.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, good win against Paulo, man. His activity was high as shit there. And then the important note, Yala southpaw, okay? And orthodox fighters usually have a hard time landing a jab on southpaws. Morales had no trouble landing that
None.
jab. Okay,
None.
like he decided to use his jab that night. All right, he didn't just slug it out with Ayala. So I think he kind of knew what was up with that. Yeah, did he struggle or did he struggle compared to how he was doing before? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like I remember people saying that he was struggling, but he was clearly winning these fights. You know, I mean, and then I think he showed he wasn't over the hill when he, in my opinion, beat Barrera. I mean, I'm just saying. Maybe it's a fanboy in me. I don't know, but with that said, G Funk, you got any final words before we wrap this one up?
I just want to ask a question because I know you already had a Marquez week, right? About a month
Marquez,
ago.
Queensberry week, yes.
Did you talk about the possibility of Morales and Marquez? Like, who do you think would have won? I mean, I know you were a Morales fan.
If I'm not mistaken, I think I did a poll: Marquez versus Morales. Yeah.
Okay.
But who do I think would have won? I gotta keep it real, and a lot of Marquez fans are gonna like my answer. Like I think, in my opinion, 135 and above, Marquez wins. Right?
Yeah.
130 and or lower, Morales beats. You know what I mean? Like I think 130 is probably the most competitive fight at 130. 130 is competitive as shit, right? And if somebody wants to see Marquez at 130, I won't argue with you. But AJ just put it 126, 122, Morales all day. No doubt in my mind. Morales' footwork was too good for Marquez, bro. Marquez struggled with guys with good footwork, right? Okay, this was two-stepping guys, bro. Okay, he was two-stepping freaking Junior Jones, right? He was doing it like this dude, like I don't know the name of the line dances, but he was doing them, right? Like, right. This dude was river dancing with guys, okay. So he was doing the electric slide and shit, okay. But I just think Morales was the higher you go in weight class, he was more flat-footed, okay.
Yeah.
So the more flat-footed Morales gets, then little by little we start favoring Marquez. But Marquez wouldn't be able to deal with that footwork of Morales, bro. He just wouldn't.
Man, it's a fight that
and Morales is, I'm sorry, Marquez is too respectable. Like he's too much of a, respectful kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not the type of guy that, would make it personal and make Marquez like go all out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a fight that we'll just talk about for years, man, because it's definitely interesting, man, to think about it, and well, I mean, we'll never know, but it's good boxing conversation, that's for sure, man.
I remember those rounds, by the way. I'm glad you brought them up, Chris Sam. I don't know if I can't agree with that. Okay. If Barrera was such a great boxer on the outside, what explains the Junior Jones fight, bro? Yeah, I'm just saying. Right? He was having a hard time with that Junior Jones jab. Morales never. I mean, maybe let me put it this way: at mid-range, he beat Barrera at mid-range in the second fight. I mean, for the most part, he fought him at mid-range. That's all you got to say about that one, right? But anyway, it is getting late. All right, we can argue about this all day. Right?
Oh yeah.
But just to, I think Morales beats him 126, 122 for sure. But 126 is the one I kind of want to focus on. 130, it's close. I favor Morales, but 135 and above, I give it to Marquez.
Fair. That's fair enough. All right.
With that said, Make sure you guys throw a jab at that like button. If you came in late, remember you could always go back, all right, and listen on archive and the whole 9 yards. Tomorrow is Calcast. Make sure you guys tune in for that. You can subscribe to G Funk 84, G Funky 84 Boxing. Okay. I know the Schmidt and Jones. There we go. All right. Well, that's it. This is DStyle Boxing. And what do we say, G Funk?
Keep it boxing.
We're out. Peace.